Shabbat Shalom, everybody. It is so good to see you all here on Zoom. I invite you to go into gallery view so we can see our sacred community, our sacred sanctuary that we're building together here this evening. And let's give a heart tap, greeting each other, Shabbat Shalom, from wherever we are Zooming in from. Now, I have to say, today it was a pretty rainy day. I think you could all agree, but for our blessing that Shabbat has arrived, and so too a beautiful, beautiful blue sky. And so we can enter Shabbat with a sense of light, a sense of peace, a sense of blessing and meaning and joy. And so as we bring in Shabbat together, if you have Shabbat candles, because there's never enough light, we can always add more light into the world. If you have Shabbat candles, I invite you to bring them in front of your screen so we can see them as we bring in this light together, as we join together with the words of the candlelight blessing.
Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen, amen. As we welcome in the Sabbath angels, we welcome them in with peace, and we wish that peace for each other, for our whole community, and for our greater world as we join in together with Shalom Aleichem.
I'm grateful to Asher Novisky and our high school intern, Zach Gondelman, for bringing this melody into our virtual midst this week with their weekly video cast of Eidah Zemirot. So hopefully it's fresh in your ears and you can join together with me. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boechem l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei מלאכי השרת, מלאכי עליון, מי מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש, הקדוש ברוך הוא. צאתכם שלום, מלאכי השלום, מלאכי עליון, מי מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. Last time. Shalom aleichem, shalom aleichem, malachi hasharet, malachi elyon, mi melech malchi hamlachim, hakadosh, hakadosh baruch hu.
I don't know about you, but I look forward to Shabbat all week long. And with Lecha Dodi, as we're expressing that excitement about getting to see Shabbat come in as the sun is going down. And so as we sing Lecha Dodi together, I invite you to think about what is something this Shabbat that you are just so excited to welcome, so much that you would run out the door and wait for Shabbat to come in over the horizon. What is that thing that you are looking forward to this Shabbat? Hold that thing, that excitement in your heart as we sing Lecha Dodi together.
Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad, hishmi'anu el hamiuchad, Aronai echad, u'shemo echad, l'shem tiferet v'litila lecha Dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat, nekabela. Shabbat lechuven elcha, ki hi mekor haveracha merosh mikedem nesucha sof ma'aseh v'machshava tchila lecha Dodi, likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Hitoreri, hitoreri, ki ba'orech umi ori, uri, uri, shir taveri k'vod Adonai, alayich nitla lecha Dodi, likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Yalalai, 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 I invite you to please rise in body or spirit as we greet that Shabbat bride. boi v'shalom, atzeret bala, gam b'simcha u'b'tzola, toch emunei am segula, boi chala, holecha dodi likrat kala, opnei Shabbat nekabela, holecha dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela, Pnei Shabbat nekabela.
Take a deep breath in, connecting our breath to the source of our breath, to the source of oneness in our universe. Holding on to that connection together, we recite Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed.
This Shabbat just so happens to be Rosh Chodesh. It's the first day of the month of Av. And the month of Av has a holiday coming up on the 9th day, Tisha B'Av, which is actually the saddest day in our calendar. And on Tisha B'Av, we think about the effect that sinat chinam, senseless hatred, has had in our histories, in our world today. And it's a big reminder to us that sinat chinam is, of course, not at all what we want, and that our job is to bring the opposite, ahavat chinam, freely given love, into our world. With every aspect of our being, every choice we make, we have the opportunity to bring that ahavat chinam. And as we join together for Let There Be Love, let us hold on to something that puts out just a little bit more ahavat chinam into our world.
Thank you so much, Rabbi. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Hashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu. Hashkivenu, Leshalom. V'ha'amidenu, Shomreinu L'chaim. Ufros Aleinu, Sukkot Shlomecha. Hashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu Hashkivenu Leshalom. Let there be love. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms.
We have arrived at probably my favorite part of our service. Because this is the part where we get to open up our lips. Our lips are literally opened so that we can declare praises, share gratitudes, express our pains and our joys all together. So I'm going to invite you to join us in gallery view so we can bear witness to all of us who are here in the sacred community together. And we're also going to open up our chat so that whatever joys and whatever oys and whatever gratitudes you might have, they can be shared and they'll be heard. Let's join together. Adonai Sefatai Tiftach. Let's open up our lips together. Adonai Sefatai Tiftach. Ufiagi Tehilatecha. Adonai Sefatai Tiftach. Viagid Tehilatecha. Open up our lips that we may praise your name. Open up our hearts so we may feel our pain. Open up our souls and our love make us whole, and we will praise your name, Adonai Sefatai Tiftach. Viagid Tehilatecha. Adonai Sefatai Tiftach. Viagid Tehilatecha. Please take a few moments for your own personal meditation. And while you're sharing the meditations on your heart, let's join together in an extra prayer for peace. Prayers of peace for us, for Israel, for everyone in the whole world. Let's join together.
Shalom bimroma, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom bimroma, hu yaseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. This version of Oseh Shalom reminds me of the rain opening up into sunshine. And so that is what I'm channeling as we pray for peace tonight. Oseh Shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael.
We take a moment in our prayers this evening to recognize those who are in need of a Misha Berach, who are in need of a prayer for healing, healing of body, healing of mind, or healing of spirit. If there's anyone that you are thinking of, or perhaps yourself are in need of a prayer of a Misha Berach, we invite you to put those names in the chat box so that collectively in our sacred community we can recognize those who are in need of this prayer and join together in prayers of refuah shlema, of a quick, speedy recovery. Let's join together.
Yishebeach Avoteinu Mekor HaBracha Leimoteinu. May the source of strife, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Yishebeirach imoteinu mekor habracha lavoteinu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. And so we know, of course, each week we have so much to celebrate. We have firsts, we have new beginnings, we celebrate birthdays and love. And so I'm going to first ask for a show of hands. Is anyone celebrating a birthday this week? Oh, I see one. I'm going to say by name. I see a few. Happy birthday, and a very special 90th birthday to not one, we have two congregants turning 90 this week. Happy birthday to Helene Kress and to Hirsch Altman. Chazak, chazak, may you go from strength to strength. And so I'm curious also to know who is celebrating a wedding anniversary this week. Any special anniversaries? I have none to name, but I see some thumbs up and some hands in the air. So Mazal Tov on your anniversaries. May you go for many more. Rabbi Sherman, I think you have.
I just wanted to say that before services began, I was able to celebrate with Sarah Berg and her husband-to-be, Jared Weintraub. They will be married this Sunday. Sarah grew up at TBE and is the daughter of Nancy Samilian and Robbie Berg. And so we are very excited to celebrate with them on Sunday afternoon.
Amazing. And so are there any firsts that we can just raise our hand? Perhaps we've seen some new fruits blossoming, whether that is literally or metaphorically. We want to join together with you in celebrating these momentous occasions. So let's join together with these familiar words. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kiyamanu v'higiyanu lazman hazeh. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kiyamanu v'higiyanu lazman hazeh.
Thank you, Cantor. So Shabbat Shalom, everybody. So I wanted to begin with some words about an article I read this week. As a frequent suit-wearing rabbi, I was struck this week when I read about Representative Andy Kim and his new blue J. Crew suit. You see, on January 6th, Representative Kim woke up and decided to wear his brand new suit that he bought at an end-of-year off-the-rack sale. And on that day, he would play a role as an elected member of Congress in certifying the results of the 2020 election. And this day, of course, felt quite significant to him. And he wanted to give this garment some meaning, so he put it on. The insurrection that occurred that day will certainly live on in the minds of all of us and in our democracy, and certainly in the minds of those who had to shelter in place and in fear for their lives for 6 hours on that Wednesday afternoon 6 months ago. And after Representative Kim was able to return and walk in the halls of Congress, he noticed that there was trash and all kinds of garbage littered throughout the building. And upon seeing this, he felt compelled to start cleaning up this sacred space. And so he knelt down and started to clean up. And as he did so, a photographer from the Associated Press captured a photo of Andy and his new suit, and the image went viral. And the Washington Post recently ran an article about Representative Kim and his suit because at the end of January, the Smithsonian called, asking if he would donate it to their collection. And I quote, as part of a larger collecting initiative to continue to assess now and in the future what historians and the public will know about January 6, 2021. In speaking about picking up the trash, Kim said, like my suit, what I did on January 6 on its face was unremarkable. I saw a mess and I cleaned it. I wanted to right the wrongs of that day as quickly and as tangibly as I could. And Kim said that he agreed to donate the clothing as a symbol of hope and resilience and as a story of light on one of the darkest days in our democracy. And so after I read this article, I thought that this was a pretty special story. How seeming insignificant choice of clothing, and ultimately a photo, became a meaningful part of a much bigger story. And so I began to think, when do small everyday things, like deciding what clothes to wear, end up becoming part of big moments? How can we be more aware of these possible opportunities so we can notice and be more present with them? Or at the very least, make sure we dress worthy of the Smithsonian giving us a call. When I was in Israel, studying the book of Bamidbar, which we are concluding this week, with the incredible Torah scholar and author Aviva Zornberg, she made a comment that has stuck with me all these years later. She helped me deepen my understanding of the Hebrew word over, which, like many in Hebrew, can hold multiple meanings. See, this word literally means to pass by or pass through. But she explained that this word seems to mean being present and disappearing at the same time. As such, we could interpret this as a mindset that we are here but for but a moment. We are just passing by. There's a moment of presence and then a moment of absence. So if that is the case, how do we recognize and hold on to these small, fleeting, everyday moments that could have been or might become significant? Certainly our Torah portion provides us an answer. Ele ma'aseh b'nei Yisrael. These were the journeys of the Israelites who started out from the land of Egypt, troop by troop, in the charge of Moses and Aaron. In this week's double parsha, Matot Maseh, we find that the Israelites, having finished their 40 years of journeying through the wilderness, on the precipice of entering the promised land. And Maseh, the second of the Parshiot, opens with 49 verses, articulating each of the stopping points where the Israelites encamped in the wilderness. Of course, the plain meaning of these verses tells us that it's important to know how we got from here to there. It tells us to remember every stop on our journey, because each is filled with potential and possibility. Every place we go has something to teach us, something for us to help move us forward, the big and the small, the good, the blessings, and even the hard stuff. And so having a reminder of where we've traveled is helpful in this learning. See, certainly one of the ways of recognizing the significance of small everyday moments is making space for reminding ourselves of the stops on our journey. How often do we walk through life missing what could have been a significant moment because we were in a place like the Hebrew word over? We were just in it too quickly to process, eating the second cookie before we could recognize how good the first one was. And so reminding ourselves of these moments is important. Perhaps it is looking through photos or going through old receipts or scrolling through our old social media posts or talking about a certain moment with someone you shared it with. Another way we could do this is by keeping a record of writing down our journeys. I think about this often. How can we be more active in crafting memory? In a digital world, we take photos of everything. What would it be like instead to commit to taking a few minutes each day to make notes about the photos of the day, or notes about a conversation we had, or something experienced by us or someone close to us? It doesn't have to have special meaning or be weighty, just make the notes to remember. Because one day, as we reflect back on that small detail, could become part of a big moment. As we move forward into another phase of this extraordinary time, how are we going to capture the small moments from the pandemic that became significant for us? Will we capture them in writing or in an image or recording of our voice? Because so many of these are small over moments. And we must capture them now, or we run the risk of losing what was most significant about them. A midrash, speaking about our Torah text this week, imagines God telling Moses, write down all the places through which Israel journeyed, that they might recall all the miracles I brought forth for them. Small everyday moments, like preparing food or picking up coffee, a conversation with a child or someone in the car, extending a hug, being vulnerable in a conversation with a friend, deciding what to wear even, have the possibility of being cataloged in someone's mind, heart, or soul. These moments are kept with us so that we can recall their significance in the future. And perhaps as we become more aware by writing them down in whatever form works for us, we may notice the miracles that we may not have originally seen. And so yesterday, when I put on my suit to attend the funeral of a member of our congregation, a service where we marked the journey of a deeply loved human being, I felt something in my jacket pocket. It was a folded up kippah, one that I hadn't seen in 18 months, one that was in my mind certainly lost. And I remembered the last time I wore that particular suit at a bar mitzvah service in late January 2020. And the joy of celebrating with that family. And the kippah that I put in my jacket pocket in order to wear the special one that was given to me that afternoon. A sacred memory hiding in a jacket pocket, waiting to be discovered. May each of us, and may each of our stops along the way be filled with blessing and a new understanding for the promise and possibility for sacredness in the small everyday moments that fill our lives. Shabbat Shalom.
Rabbi, you remind me that every little tiny moment makes possibility to be remembered as perhaps the best time, the best part of your life. And just turn your head and you'll begin to see the 1,000 reasons that were just beyond your sight. The reasons why I suggest to you, why I suggest this is the best part of your life. There is a world that's been addressed to you, intended only for your eyes. A secret world, like a treasure chest to you, of private scenes and brilliant dreams that mesmerize. A lover's trusting smile, a tiny baby's hands, the million stars that fill the turning sky at night. Oh, I suggest to you, oh, I suggest this is the best part of your life.
And so we begin to conclude our service with the words of Mourner's Kaddish. And so if you are observing the yahrzeit, the anniversary of the death of a loved one, or are in a period of mourning, I invite you to place their names in the chat box of the loved ones that we are remembering this Shabbat. And as we do so, we recall those who have died in the last 30 days. Claire Cohen, the grandmother of Matt Godoff and Ian Cohen. Marjorie Frischberg, the mother of Rabbi Julie Wolkoff and the grandmother of Julie Ledoux. Barry Glick, the brother of Gary Glick. David Goldberg, the father of Elizabeth Marcus. Herbert Goldenberg, the father of Jill Goldenberg. Ernest Greenberg, the father of Glenn Greenberg. And Al Lipkin, the father of Amy Robbins. I've also been asked to recite the name of Harold Wolfers, the father of Joan Belkin. And so if you are in observance of a yahrzeit or in a period of mourning, and it is your custom to rise or situate yourself with more intention, I invite you to do so at this time as we share the words of the Mourner's Kaddish on the screen, and we join together in these sacred words. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, bi'alma divrach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uvyomechon uvchaye dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala v'zman kari v'imru amen. Yehe shmei Rabbah mevarach le'elam olmei omaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shmei dekudsha brichu. Le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata da'amiran v'yalma v'imru amen. Yehe shlama Rabbah min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen.
Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael.
And so before we conclude, there are a number of announcements this week. So you got the email today with many different opportunities to engage in the life of our community. I want to make a note of a few things. One, the Summer Institute is continuing with full steam and full enthusiasm and ruach and spirit. And so I hope that you will continue to join us. Each of the classes are designed in many ways on their own. So if you haven't joined us yet, I hope you will look on the calendar and join us. We have a new class beginning this Thursday night called Mixed Media Midrash with Abby Oceans. And so I'm excited that that will begin on Thursday night. And then Wednesday morning, Rabbi Na'amah has been teaching a class on Reform Judaism in Israel. And this week we have a special guest of Rabbi Gabi Dagan from our friends in Haifa, who's going to explore Sephardic Judaism and its influence on Reform Judaism in Israel. So I hope that you will join us on Wednesday morning for that opportunity. On Wednesday nights, I see Josh Rosenberg is on our Zoom call. And I'm so excited that you are here as our new Director of Young Family Learning and Engagement. And we'll have many opportunities this summer to meet Josh. But if you are a family with younger children from birth through grade 3 and you want to meet Josh, I hope you will want to meet Josh, but join us. You can join us. The first opportunity is Wednesday night. So you can find information in the email about how to sign up so we can make sure there's enough pizza for you. There are healing grief support groups that are beginning at the end of this month. There is a lot of ways to connect in meaningful and spiritual and in caring ways. And so I hope that you will do so. I also want to make a note in thinking about the small moments that pop up. I got a notification on my phone today. 6 years ago, I traveled to Poland with members of our community, which was a really extraordinary trip. And I got a notification saying that you were in Poland with TBE 6 years ago. And it came at the same time that I got an email from CJP and the JCRC. And today they released a brand new website to go along with the Holocaust Memorial downtown. And I went on and I explored it. And it's a really extraordinary way to engage with that really important piece of memory in our city. And so I hope that you will check that out if you can. Cantor.
Yasher Koach, Rabbi. Nice tie-in. I really appreciate that. So I would love to see a Kiddush cup on our Jumbotron. If you have one and you lift it, it is a sign that you are comfortable being spotlit on our screen. So you will do the wine lifting for me. Our TBE team will spotlight you. Thank you. Let's join together. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Borei peri hagafen, Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, V'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu, Zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit, Ki hu yom techila lemikra kodesh, Zecher litziat Mitzrayim. Kivanu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol hamim. V'shabbat kodshecha ve'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh Hashabbat. L'chaim, take a sip. Complete the mitzvah. You all join together.
And so let's find some challah. There we go.
Oh, the Rand family.
There we go.
Let's take it out of the plastic and join together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz b'tei avon. B'tei avon, take a bite.
Let's complete the mitzvah. Shabbat shalom, everybody.
Good
Let's
Shabbos.
unmute ourselves and
Shabbat
say
shalom.
Shabbat
Shabbat
shalom.
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 Shalom. Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat shalom,
Shalom.
Julie.
Everybody, pizza. Have a good fall weekend.
Shalom, Bev and Martin.
Great sermon, everyone.
Happy birthday, Nancy.
Good Shalom, Mitch and Marsha.
Nice to be back.
Hi, Marsha. Shabbat shalom, Carol.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Everybody. Shabbat shalom, Nancy. Shabbat shalom, Dave. Debbie.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom.
Yeah.
Good Shabbos, everyone.
He was at Minion a lot. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom.
Enjoy your trip, Masha.
Shabbat shalom.
Rabbis are still away too. No, that's the former rabbi.